Head W, Ministry of Transport, Mr. Sitoh Yih Pin.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that the total sum to be allocated for Head W of the estimates be reduced by $100. Sir, Singapore's entire transportation industry is undergoing rapid evolution and major change. Technological disruptions and our changing economic and social needs are the main drivers of this. New MRT lines and stations are being built in many places. Private hire cars and their distinct blue decals ply our roads. There is a proliferation of e-bikes, personal mobility devices, PMDs, and shared bicycles on our roads and pathways. Our once bustling port in Keppel has gone silent as the move to Tuas continues. Changi Airport has transformed from its humble beginnings to an international air travel hub of 4 terminals with a 5th one in the works. The Ministry of Transport's budget estimation for 2018 has grown significantly from 2017 and is now comparable to traditionally big-ticket ministries such as defense, health, and education. And it is absolutely vital that we do so. Our transport industry is a key pillar and enabler of our economy. It not only connects us domestically within Singapore, but also to the rest of the world. Sir, I think Singaporeans appreciate, understand, and accept the reasons and need for this evolution, growth, and change in our transportation landscape. However, rapid evolution and major changes in transport have brought about its own set of challenges and issues. Sir, I spoke at length at last year's Committee of Supply on Technology in Transport, and in particular, the advent of private hire cars in the point-to-point transportation industry. Private hire car companies leverage on technology through their mobile apps to plug a service gap by providing a platform to efficiently match private hire car drivers and passengers directly in real time and space. Their model significantly shrinks transaction costs, giving passengers greater choices and value. However, this caused a disruption in the point-to-point transportation industry, leading to many taxi drivers who are facing the pressures of increased competition to worry and fear for their livelihoods. Sir, technology has brought about new options for first and last mile travel between our homes and the various transport nodes. These include e-bikes and PMDs, and also bike sharing systems. I expressed reservations about the proliferation of e-bikes and PMDs during the active mobility debate. My reservations are primarily on safety concerns for other road and pathway users, as well as whether an adequate accident compensation scheme, like those for motor vehicles, can apply to e-bikes and PMDs. I continue to hold these views. Bike sharing systems, while intuitively an efficient and convenient option for Singaporeans to use for short-distance travel, face teething issues such as abusive use and abandonment of the share bikes. I shall not delve too much into these details, as they have been well documented in the mass media, and many of my honourable colleagues on both sides of the House will raise the same during this COS. An important point to note, however, is that new technologies will continue to disrupt and bring new options into the transportation industry. This is unlikely to abate. Further technology-driven changes in transport are already at our doorsteps. Blue SG, Singapore's first electric car sharing service, has been launched. Driverless, autonomous vehicles are being tested and piloted. Difficulties and problems arising from this will not be dissimilar or unique. We should expect it. This does not mean that we ignore the difficulties and problems. They are real, and they should never be trivialized. policy solutions need to be urgently found to solve or mitigate the issues. The question we should ask ourselves, sir, is this: should the government hesitate to promote technological changes in transport and maintain the status quo because of these difficulties and problems? I think that the answer is a clear no. Stifling new innovative technology can only end in a negative outcome for the overall Singapore economy and for Singaporeans in general. We did not get where we are as a country by being fearful of the difficulties and problems that change will bring. The same applies to our MRT system. It is perhaps an understatement to say that it has been a difficult year for our MRT system and for SMRT in particular. There have been several avoidable lapses, some minor, others of a serious nature that need to be addressed immediately. This is irrefutable, and I do not think anyone disagrees. We need to improve, and we will. However, we are also driving a massive expansion of our MRT capacity. New lines are being progressively completed. The signaling system on all lines is being upgraded to increase efficiency and to cope with increased demand. This is in line with our population growth and new towns and housing estates being developed. Such problems and difficulties arising from the evolution and changes in the transport industry is not unprecedented. It has happened many times in the past. We built our city from scratch. Public housing, town planning, port facilities, Changi Airport, roads, and our first MRT system each presented similar difficulties and problems at its time. Each of these were meticulously planned, executed with vision and foresight by our founding leaders. They were policies implemented not only to satisfy the current requirements of its time, but also to cater for the potential needs in the future. Changi Airport is a great example. The choice of location and the anticipation of our future needs set the foundations for the possibility of the state-of-the-art multi-terminal international airport that we have today. The same vision is being applied today in the relocation of our port facilities to Tuas, the massive expansion of our MRT lines, and the entire array of car-like initiatives to alter our transportation landscape in the future. I am sure that we will continue to encounter further difficulties and problems as we move forward, just like what we encountered in the generation before us. We overcame them then, and I have full faith that Minister Kaur and our transport team, together with our cohesive support of Singaporeans, will overcome them now. Naturally, due to the various issues and recent lapses, some Singaporeans might have lost some faith in our transportation system. I think we can all empathize. It is understandable. But as I have said earlier, we will improve and we will do better. Transport is an indelible part of the everyday life of Singaporeans. On any given day, Singaporeans potentially utilize and come into contact with private hire cars, taxis, buses, the MRT, PMDs, e-bikes, cyclists on bikes, and share bikes. Any combination of the problems and difficulties faced is likely to cause unpleasant experiences for many people on a daily basis. It is therefore important that the government co-opt and communicate effectively with Singaporeans on the vision of our transportation landscape for the future. It is imperative that the government and Singaporeans work together to leverage on new technologies to its fullest and work hand in hand together to overcome any difficulties and problems we face as we continue to build a first-class transportation network for Singapore. In conclusion, I invite Minister to share with us the Ministry's current and future plans to holistically address the issues of and the rising out of new technologies and the rapid changes affecting the transportation industry. Thank you.